Welcome to When the Mask Falls. I'm Christina, and this podcast isn't about having all the answers. It's about being honest about the questions, the struggles, and the messy reality of living with mental health challenges like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and rejection sensitivity disorder. For a long time, I've worn the mask people expected me to wear, the leader, the professional, the one who has it all together. But behind that mask, I wrestle daily with self-doubt, burnout, and the constant push and pull between wanting to step into leadership and feeling paralyzed by my own inner battles. This isn't going to be a polished, sugar-coated version of life. It's about the real day-to-day grind, the good, the ugly, and everything in between. My hope is that by pulling back the mask, sharing my own journey, and talking openly about these struggles, you'll find connection, comfort, and maybe even the courage to let your own mask fall too. So if you've ever felt like you're faking it, like you're carrying the weight of expectations while fighting battles nobody sees, this space is for you. Let's take off the mask together and talk about what it really means to lead, to live, and to find ourselves in the middle of it all. Welcome to When the Mask Falls, a podcast about living with anxiety, depression, ADHD, and rejection sensitivity while trying to lead, grow, and just get through everyday life. I'm Christina, and here the mask comes off. Let's get real. I want to be upfront. This podcast wasn't my original plan. It was supposed to be a book. I had this vision of writing down my own story, polishing it up, and releasing it to the world when it was ready. But here's the truth. I kept getting stuck. Actually, I never even got started. Not because the story isn't there, but because I'm still living it. Anxiety, depression, ADHD, they don't exactly pause. So when you sit down to write your perfect narrative, they're loud, distracting, and sometimes paralyzing. So instead of waiting until my story was complete, I decided to start sharing it here, in real time, in the messy middle, because maybe you're in the messy middle too. For as long as I can remember, I've worn a mask. At work, I'm the professional who has it all together. As a leader, I'm supposed to be confident, decisive, the one that people can count on. And as a friend, daughter, and mom, and sister, I'm supposed to be reliable, strong, and always available. But behind that mask, panic attacks in the bathroom before big meetings, lying awake at night, replaying every word I said just to make sure I didn't offend anyone, getting stuck in a spiral when one person doesn't text back, convinced I must have done or said something wrong. There's a term called rejection sensitivity disorder. It means the tiniest bit of criticism or even the possibility of rejection can feel like a gut punch. I can get glowing feedback, but if there is one small negative note, my brain latches onto that and ignores everything else. So here's a story. Just from last week, we had our big board meeting for the biggest organization that I help run as CFO. On the outside, I looked calm. I had my agenda printed, my notes ready, and my professional smile on. People saw a leader who was organized and confident, but what they couldn't see was what was happening before that meeting. I was in tears. I was scared to give the report that I had to report to the board. I was scared to give the report that I had to provide to our CEO. But in that moment, I had tried to stop my hands from shaking. I had wiped my tears away. My anxiety was telling me that I wasn't prepared enough, that everyone was going to see right through me, and that I didn't deserve to be the one leading or in my role as CFO. I sat there replaying everything that could go wrong. What if I stumble over my words? What if someone asks a question that I don't know the answer to? What if they realize I'm not even capable as I pretend to be? Then, after the meeting, I got compliments. My boss told me that I did a great job and that I did it with confidence and leadership of a CFO. And all I could think was, if you only knew what it took to get that out. That's the mask. On the outside, put together. On the inside, terrified, overthinking, panicking, and that's what makes the mask so heavy. The constant hiding of what's really going on underneath. Living with anxiety, depression, ADHD, and rejection sensitivity isn't just about big moments. It's the everyday stuff. Anxiety looks like reading an email 12 times before sending it, terrified that I'll say the wrong thing or send the wrong information. Depression looks like sitting in the car outside the house before coming in for an extra 20 minutes just to get up the courage to do what needs to be done inside the house. ADHD looks like starting 3 projects at once, finishing none, or hyper-focusing on some random thing at 2 a.m. that no one's asked me to do. Rejection sensitivity looks like second-guessing every relationship, every friendship, and worrying that I'm constantly letting people down that don't want me around. Here's a simple example from my daily life. One morning, most mornings, I tell myself, today's the day. I'm going to clean the house. That's it. I just have to clean. I start with the dishes, but then I notice the counters are dirty. So I grab the spray, and while grabbing the spray, I remembered the cat food was low. So of course I had to go refill it. On the way, the laundry basket was there, and I thought, I'll just start one load so that it can finish by the time I'm done doing everything else. By the time I finally sat down that night, nothing was finished. Dishes half done, counter still sticky, laundry still in the wash, and I sat there beating myself up, thinking, why can't I just do one simple thing like a normal person? That's ADHD. That's the mask again. People might walk into my house later and think, she's just a little messy, but they don't see the exhaustion, the shame, or the war my brain wages to get through everyday tasks. And then, on top of that, I'm trying to step into leadership roles, trying to be the person others look to for answers and direction, while inside, I feel like I can't even handle the basics. Some days, I absolutely nail it. I lead the meeting, I make the hard decisions, and I feel proud of myself. Other days, I can't answer a single text without feeling paralyzed. That tension, the push and pull between who I want to be and how my mental health sometimes holds me back, that's what this podcast is all about. Why call this When the Mask Falls? Because for years, I thought my mask was the only thing keeping me safe. Safe from judgment, safe from rejection, safe from people knowing I didn't have it all together. But the mask is heavy, it's exhausting, and it keeps people from really knowing me. The moments where I've actually connected the most with people haven't been when I was polished and perfect. They've been when I was honest, when I admitted I was struggling, when I admitted failure and defeat, when I let the mask slip. This podcast is me letting the mask fall on purpose. My hope is that it gives you permission to do the same. So here's what you can expect if you stick with me on this journey. Personal stories, the good, the messy, and the vulnerable. Real talk about mental health, leadership, and how the two collide. Strategies I've tried, what's helped, what hasn't, and what I'm still figuring out. And hopefully, some encouragement. Not the toxic positivity kind, but the real, honest kind. Some episodes will be short and raw, some will be longer and more reflective. Some might just be me processing out loud. But through it all, I promise to be real. Thank you for joining me for this first episode of When the Mask Falls. If anything I've shared today resonated with you, know this, you are not alone. We're all carrying masks, and while they might protect us, they also keep us hidden. It's okay to let them fall. Until next time, keep breathing, keep showing up, and keep letting the mask fall.